Hello, everyone. I'm Natasha, your host for today. If you are new here, I'd like to tell you that we upload English learning videos regularly on this channel to help you take your English to the next level, faster. In today's episode, you are not only going to improve your listening skills, but also sharpen your advanced vocabulary and overall fluency. Today's lesson is a complete C1 Advanced Vocabulary Masterclass. We will go through powerful and precise words, daily life examples, and natural expressions that will help you boost your vocabulary, sound fluent, and confidently reach the C1 level in English. Whether you are speaking at work, studying at university, or simply chatting with friends, advanced vocabulary gives you the power to express yourself more clearly, more persuasively, and more naturally. By the end of this video, you will understand how to use advanced words in real situations. And you'll also practice with me, so you can start using them immediately in your daily conversations. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you'd like more English learning episodes like this. So, grab a pen and paper. Let's get started. Hello again, my friends. Now that we're ready to dive in, let's begin building your C1 advanced vocabulary step by step. To reach this level, you need words that not only sound advanced, but are also practical. Words that you can actually use in everyday life conversations, in your studies, and in professional situations. Today, I will help you not only learn these words, but also practice the M with me, so that they stay in your memory and naturally become part of the way you speak. Let's begin with a simple thought. At the C1 level, you don't just want to say things in a basic way. Instead of saying, I'm happy, you might say, I'm delighted. Instead of saying, it's very big, you might say, it's enormous. These words make your English richer, clearer, and more expressive. But advanced vocabulary is not only about replacing one word with a fancier one, it's about choosing the most accurate word for the situation, the word that expresses your idea perfectly. So let's take an example. Imagine you had a long day at work, and a friend asks you, how are you feeling? A beginner might say, I'm tired. But at a C1 level, you can say, I'm exhausted, or even, I'm drained. If you want to show that your energy has completely disappeared, notice how these words paint a stronger picture of your feeling. Practice with me now. Repeat after me slowly. I'm exhausted. I'm drained. I'm worn out. Good. Can you hear how much more powerful these sound compared to just saying tired? Now let's practice with daily life situations. Picture yourself walking home after carrying heavy groceries. You say, I feel exhausted. Repeat that with me. I feel exhausted. Next, imagine you stayed up all night studying or watching movies. You wake up and say, I'm completely drained. Repeat after me. I'm completely drained. These exercises are not just about words, but about building the habit of using them naturally in your own life. Another great area to expand your C1 vocabulary is emotions. In daily conversations, people often say, I'm sad, or I'm angry. But at an advanced level, you can say, I'm devastated, to express deep sadness, or I'm frustrated, to show annoyance mixed with disappointment, or I'm furious, to show strong anger. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I'm devastated. I'm frustrated. I'm furious. Excellent. Now imagine this scenario. You didn't pass an important exam even though you studied hard. You could say, I'm devastated. Practice it with me. I'm devastated. Next, your computer stops working right before an important presentation. You could say, I'm frustrated. Say it now. I'm frustrated. Finally, someone cut in front of you in a long line at the bank. You could say, I'm furious. Repeat that with me. I'm furious. With these words, you sound more precise and more natural, which is exactly what a C1 speaker does. Here's another practice activity for you. I'll give you a simple word, and I want you to try to replace it with a stronger, more advanced word. Ready? The word is happy. What advanced word could you use? Yes, you could say joyful, or thrilled, or ecstatic. Now, let's practice in sentences. Repeat with me. I'm thrilled to see you. She was ecstatic about her new job. They were joyful after hearing the good news. Excellent. Now let's flip the activity. I'll give you the advanced word, and you try to say the simpler version in your head. For example, if I say enormous, you think very big. If I say furious, you think very angry. If I say delighted, you think very happy. This back and forth practice strengthens your ability to connect words and helps you recall them quickly when you need them in conversation. At the C1 level, you also want to learn words that describe subtle differences. For example, interesting is a common word, but you could say fascinating for something that truly captures your attention, or intriguing when something makes you curious, but also a little puzzled. Let's practice these together. Repeat after me. That movie was fascinating. This book is intriguing. Good. Can you feel the difference in meaning? Imagine you're reading a mystery novel, and the plot keeps surprising you. You say, the story is intriguing. Repeat after me. The story is intriguing. Or imagine you're visiting a museum and seeing a painting that you can't stop looking at. You say, the painting is fascinating. Repeat after me. The painting is fascinating. These words show that you have moved beyond basic vocabulary and are capable of adding depth to your expression. At the advanced level, vocabulary also helps you describe situations in a more detailed and accurate way. Let's take the word important. Many learners use it all the time, but in C1 English, you can choose from many precise alternatives. You could say crucial when something is absolutely necessary, significant when something has an impact, or vital when something is essential to survival or success. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. This meeting is crucial. Her research is significant. Water is vital for life. Excellent. Now imagine you're at work and your boss asks why a deadline cannot be missed. You could say, it is crucial that we finish this project on time. Repeat that with me. It is crucial that we finish this project on time. Next, imagine you are explaining history. You might say, this was a significant moment in the country's development. Practice that. This was a significant moment in the country's development. Finally, if you're teaching children, you could say, healthy food is vital for your growth. Repeat it now. Healthy food is vital for your growth. See how these words help you be clearer and more precise? Another area where advanced vocabulary shines is when we talk about change. At the basic level, we say change all the time. But at the advanced level, you might say transform when something changes completely, or evolve when something changes slowly over time, or adapt when something changes to suit a new situation. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Technology has transformed our lives. The language continues to evolve. We must adapt to new environments. Very good. Let's try to place these words in daily life. Imagine you buy a new phone, and it makes your daily routine much easier. You could say, "This phone has transformed the way I work." Repeat it. This phone has transformed the way I work. Or imagine your English is improving gradually. You can say, "My English is evolving every day." Repeat after me. My English is evolving every day. And if you move to a new country, you might say, "I need to adapt to the culture here." Practice that now. I need to adapt to the culture here. At C1, vocabulary is also about nuance. For example, let's compare the words look, stare, and glance. At a basic level, you might say look, but stare means to look for a long time, often intensely. Glance means to look quickly. Let's try these. Repeat after me. He stared at the painting for hours. She glanced at her phone and smiled. They looked out of the window together. Good. Now try to imagine these scenes. You are in a park and you see a child staring at the ducks in the pond. Repeat this with me. The child stared at the ducks in the pond. Then imagine yourself checking the time quickly before leaving the house. I glanced at the clock. Repeat it now. I glanced at the clock. Finally, imagine sitting in a cafe, looking out at the street while sipping your coffee. I looked out at the street. Say it with me. I looked out at the street. Practicing these distinctions makes your English much more vivid and expressive. Let's also explore some advanced connectors. At a basic level, we use because to give reasons. But at the C1 level, you can say due to, owing to, or as a result of. Let's practice together. The flight was delayed due to bad weather. Repeat it with me. The flight was delayed due to bad weather. Owing to her hard work, she passed the exam. Say it now. Owing to her hard work, she passed the exam. As a result of the accident, the road was closed. Repeat after me. As a result of the accident, the road was closed. Now imagine these situations. You were late because of traffic. Instead of saying, "I was late because of traffic," you say, "I was late due to heavy traffic." Practice it with me. I was late due to heavy traffic. Or you explain why a team won. Owing to their preparation, the team won easily. Repeat it now. Owing to their preparation, the team won easily. These connectors give your English a more academic and professional sound, which is very useful at C1 level. Another area where learners benefit from advanced vocabulary is describing people's behavior. For example, instead of saying someone is nice, you could say they are considerate. Instead of mean, you might say spiteful. Instead of lazy, you could say idle or sluggish. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. She is very considerate of others. He was spiteful after losing the game. I felt sluggish after eating too much food. Great job. Imagine your friend always thinks about others before themselves. You could say, "She is very considerate of others." Repeat that with me. She is very considerate of others. Or imagine someone deliberately saying hurtful words. He was spiteful when he made that comment. Practice that now. He was spiteful when he made that comment. Finally, after a big holiday meal, you might say, I felt sluggish after eating so much food. Say it with me. I felt sluggish after eating so much food. These words not only describe actions, but also carry emotion and detail, making your English sound more advanced. At this stage, I want you to think about how advanced vocabulary also allows you to describe time more accurately. At a basic level, we say soon, later, or a long time. But at C1, you can enrich your expression by saying imminent for something about to happen very soon, forthcoming for something expected, and prolonged for something lasting longer than expected. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. The storm is imminent. We had a forthcoming meeting. The illness caused a prolonged absence. Good. Now imagine you're waiting for an important phone call. Instead of saying, the call is coming soon, you could say, the call is imminent. Practice that with me. The call is imminent. Next, imagine your teacher telling you about an exam. Instead of saying, the exam is coming, you could say, the exam is forthcoming. Repeat it. The exam is forthcoming. Finally, think about a long winter. Instead of saying, the winter was very long, you could say, it was a prolonged winter. Repeat after me. It was a prolonged winter. These words add subtlety and make you sound more professional. Another way to boost your vocabulary is to talk about success and failure in a more advanced way. Instead of only saying success, you could use achievement or accomplishment. Instead of failure, you could say setback or downfall, depending on the situation. Let's practice together. Winning the award was her greatest achievement. Repeat it now. Winning the award was her greatest achievement. Finishing the marathon was a huge accomplishment. Say it with me. Finishing the marathon was a huge accomplishment. The team faced a major setback during the project. Repeat after me. The team faced a major setback during the project. Good. Now imagine you pass a difficult exam after months of study. You might proudly say, this is my greatest accomplishment. Repeat it with me. This is my greatest accomplishment. Or imagine you planned something carefully, but things went wrong. You might say, we experienced a setback, but we will try again. Practice it. We experienced a setback, but we will try again. And if a company loses its power or reputation, you might hear, the company's downfall came after years of poor management. Repeat it with me. The company's downfall came after years of poor management. By using these advanced words, you show both precision and confidence. Let's explore another group of words, describing movement. At a basic level, we use walk, run, or move. But at the advanced level, you might say stroll when walking slowly and relaxed, or dash when running quickly for a short distance, or wander when walking without a clear purpose. Let's practice them together. Repeat after me. They strolled along the beach at sunset. He dashed to catch the bus. She wandered through the old streets. Excellent. Picture yourself on vacation, walking by the sea. You could say, we strolled along the beach. Repeat after me. We strolled along the beach. Or imagine you're late for work and rushing. You might say, I dashed into the office. Say it with me. I dashed into the office. Finally, imagine you're in a new city, exploring without a map. You could say, I wandered around the city center. Practice that now. I wandered around the city center. These words give much more detail and atmosphere than just walk or run. Another important set of advanced vocabulary is for giving opinions. At the basic level, people often say, I think. But at C1, you can also use I believe, I suppose, I assume, or I reckon in informal settings. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I believe this is the best solution. I suppose we could try a different method. Now imagine a meeting at work. Instead of saying, I think this will work, you might say, I believe this is the best solution. Practice it. I believe this is the best solution. Or in a conversation with friends, instead of, I think he's coming, you could say, I suppose he's coming later. Repeat after me. I suppose he's coming later. And if you're making a guess, you might say, I reckon it's going to rain. Practice that now. I reckon it's going to rain. Using these alternatives makes your English sound flexible and natural. At C1, it is also useful to describe possibilities with more precision. At the basic level, you might say, it's possible. But at the advanced level, you could say, it's likely, it's improbable, or it's inevitable. Let's practice them in sentences. It's likely that she will win the competition. Repeat after me. It's likely that she will win the competition. It's improbable that they will arrive on time with this traffic. Say it with me. It's improbable that they will arrive on time with this traffic. It's inevitable that technology will continue to develop. Repeat it now. It's inevitable that technology will continue to develop. Excellent. Now imagine you are giving advice to a friend about a job application. You could say, it's likely you will get the job because you are very qualified. Repeat that with me. It's likely you will get the job because you are very qualified. Or imagine you're waiting for someone who is late. You might say, it's improbable that he will arrive on time now. Practice it. It's improbable that he will arrive on time now. Finally, if you're discussing the future, you might say, it's inevitable that we will face challenges. Say it with me. It's inevitable that we will face challenges. These words help you express degrees of certainty and sound much more advanced. Now, let's work on VC. Vocabulary for describing communication. At the basic level, people use say or tell. But at the advanced level, you can use words like declare, announce, confess, or reveal, each carrying a slightly different meaning. Let's practice these together. Repeat after me. The president declared a new policy. The teacher announced the results. He confessed to making a mistake. She revealed her secret to her best friend. Excellent. Imagine a work situation. Your manager shares good news with the team. Instead of saying, she told us the good news, you could say, she announced the good news. Repeat after me. She announced the good news. Or picture someone finally admitting they were wrong. Instead of, he said he was wrong, you could say, he confessed his mistake. Say it with me. He confessed his mistake. These subtle changes make your English richer and give your speech the kind of accuracy C1 learners need. Another useful area is describing sounds. Beginners might say loud or quiet, but at C1 you can say deafening when something is extremely loud, faint when something is very soft, and echoing when a sound bounces off surfaces. Practice with me. Repeat after me. The music was deafening. I heard a faint whisper. Her voice was echoing through the hall. Very good. Now imagine you are at a concert and the speakers are very powerful. Instead of saying, "The music was very loud," you could say, "The music was deafening." Repeat it. "The music was deafening." Or imagine someone speaking so softly you can hardly hear. "I heard a faint whisper." Repeat after me. "I heard a faint whisper." And if you're in a big empty building, you might say, "My footsteps were echoing in the hallway." Practice that now. My footsteps were echoing in the hallway. Can you see how these words create clearer pictures in the listener's mind? Let's now focus on vocabulary connected to thinking and learning. At a basic level, people use think, know, and learn. At the advanced level, you might use analyze when you carefully study something, comprehend when you fully understand, and acquire when you gain new knowledge or skills. Let's practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. We need to analyze the data carefully. I finally comprehended the meaning of the story. Children acquire language naturally. Excellent. Imagine a school project. Instead of saying, "We studied the data," you could say, "We analyzed the data." Practice that. We analyzed the data. Or, after reading a difficult article, you might proudly say, "I comprehended the article at last." Say it with me. I comprehended the article at last. And if you're talking about how people learn, you could say, "He acquired new skills after months of training." Repeat it. He acquired new skills after months of training. By using these verbs, you not only sound advanced, but also very precise. Now, let's practice vocabulary for describing the weather, a very common topic in daily conversation. Beginners often say, "It's hot," or "It's cold." But at C1, you could say scorching for very hot, freezing for very cold, and breezy when there is a light wind. Practice with me. It's scorching outside today. The water is freezing in winter. It's breezy on the beach this morning. Excellent. Picture this. You step outside in the summer and the sun feels very strong. Instead of saying, "It's very hot," you say, "It's scorching outside." Repeat it with me. It's scorching outside. Or imagine touching ice water. Instead of, "It's very cold," you say, "It's freezing." Repeat after me. It's freezing. And if you're walking along the seaside with a light wind, you could say, "It's breezy today at the beach." Practice that now. It's breezy today at the beach. These descriptive words make your small talk about the weather more natural and engaging. Another group of advanced vocabulary comes when describing decisions. At a basic level, you might say choice or decide. But at C1, you could use determine, resolve, or settle on. Let's practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. They determined to continue their journey. She resolved to study harder this year. We finally settled on a plan. Very good. Now imagine a family deciding where to go for dinner. Instead of saying, "We chose the restaurant," you might say, "We settled on a restaurant after much discussion." Repeat it. We settled on a restaurant after much discussion. Or imagine someone promising themselves they will change. She resolved to be more patient. Say it with me. She resolved to be more patient. These advanced alternatives add sophistication to your daily expressions. Now let's move into vocabulary for describing feelings of surprise and excitement. At the basic level, people say surprised or shocked, but at C1, you can use words like astonished, amazed, and startled. Let's practice them together. Repeat after me. I was astonished by her progress. They were amazed by the view. He was startled by the sudden noise. Excellent. Now imagine visiting a friend who has improved their English very quickly. Instead of saying, I was surprised by her progress, you could say, I was astonished by her progress. Repeat after me. I was astonished by her progress. Or imagine traveling to the mountains and seeing a beautiful view. We were amazed by the scenery. Practice it now. We were amazed by the scenery. Finally, picture yourself hearing a loud sound at night. You might say, I was startled by the sudden noise. Repeat it with me. I was startled by the sudden noise. These words help you sound more expressive and advanced when talking about emotions. Another useful set of vocabulary is for describing food, because food is something we all talk about. At the basic level, we use tasty or delicious, but at the advanced level, you can say scrumptious, mouth-watering, or appetizing. Let's practice in sentences. The cake was scrumptious. Repeat with me. The cake was scrumptious. The aroma of the pizza was mouth-watering. Say it now. The aroma of the pizza was mouth-watering. The salad looked appetizing. Repeat after me. The salad looked appetizing. Now imagine being at a birthday party and eating a chocolate cake. Instead of saying, it was very tasty, you could say, the cake was scrumptious. Repeat it. The cake was scrumptious. Or imagine walking past a bakery and smelling fresh bread. You might say, the bread smelled mouth-watering. Practice it. The bread smelled mouth-watering. And if you see a colorful plate of food, you can say, the dish looked appetizing. Repeat it with me. The dish looked appetizing. Using these words makes your daily conversations about food sound much more vivid. Let's now practice vocabulary for describing speed. At the basic level, you say fast or slow. But at C1, you could say rapid for very fast, swift for quick and smooth, and sluggish for very slow or without energy. Let's practice together. The progress was rapid. Repeat after me. The progress was rapid. The response was swift. Say it with me. The response was swift. I felt sluggish after the long flight. Repeat it now. I felt sluggish after the long flight. Imagine you're working on a project and finishing quickly. You might say, the progress was rapid. Repeat after me. The progress was rapid. Or imagine getting an immediate reply to your message. You could say, the response was swift. Practice it. The response was swift. And if you are very tired after a long journey, you might say, I felt sluggish all day after the flight. Say it with me. I felt sluggish all day after the flight. These words give you more precision in your daily communication. Another powerful area of advanced vocabulary is describing intelligence and creativity. At the basic level, we say smart or clever, but at C1, you can say brilliant, ingenious, or resourceful. Let's try them in sentences. She is a brilliant scientist. Repeat with me. She is a brilliant scientist. His solution to the problem was ingenious. Say it now. His solution to the problem was ingenious. They were resourceful during the crisis. Repeat after me. They were resourceful during the crisis. Now picture a student who always performs at the top of the class. You might say, "She is brilliant in her studies." Repeat it with me. She is brilliant in her studies. Or imagine someone fixing a broken machine with a very creative idea. His idea was ingenious. Say it now. His idea was ingenious. And if a group of people survives a difficult situation by finding clever solutions, you might say, they were resourceful. Practice that. They were resourceful. These words will make you sound much more advanced when complimenting or describing people. Let's practice vocabulary for describing places and atmosphere. Beginners say nice, beautiful, or bad. But at C1, you could use majestic for something grand, picturesque for something charming like a photo, and gloomy for something dark and sad. Repeat after me. The mountains were majestic. The village was picturesque. The weather was gloomy all week. Excellent. Now imagine traveling in the Alps and seeing snow-covered peaks. Instead of saying, "The mountains are beautiful," you say, "The mountains are majestic." Repeat it. The mountains are majestic. Or imagine visiting a small village with old houses and flowers on the streets. The village was picturesque. Say it with me. The village was picturesque. Finally, imagine a rainy, cloudy week. You might say, "The weather was gloomy." Repeat after me. The weather was gloomy. This kind of vocabulary helps you describe the world with precision and style. Now let's expand your vocabulary for describing moods and atmosphere. At the basic level, learners often say happy or sad. But at C1, you can use words like cheerful, melancholy, or optimistic. Let's practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. She seemed cheerful after the exam. The music had a melancholy tone. I'm optimistic about the future. Excellent. Now imagine your friend just got good news and is smiling. Instead of saying, "She is happy," you could say, "She is cheerful today." Repeat that with me. She is cheerful today. Or imagine listening to a slow, sad song. Instead of saying, "The song is sad," you say, "The music has a melancholy tone." Practice it. The music has a melancholy tone. And if someone asks you about your plans, you might say, "I'm optimistic about my future career." Repeat it now. I'm optimistic about my future career. These words let you express shades of emotion more precisely. Another area of advanced vocabulary is talking about work and effort. Beginners often say hard work, but at the C1 level, you can say diligence, perseverance, and commitment. Let's practice. Her diligence earned her a promotion. Repeat after me. Her diligence earned her a promotion. Perseverance is the key to success. Say it with me. Perseverance is the key to success. He showed commitment to his goals. Repeat it now. He showed commitment to his goals. Imagine a student who studies every day carefully. You could say, "Her diligence impressed the teacher." Repeat it with me. Her diligence impressed the teacher. Or picture an athlete who keeps training even when it's difficult. You might say, "His perseverance brought him victory," or say it now. His perseverance brought him victory. And in a workplace, you might say, "She demonstrated commitment to the project." Practice it now. She demonstrated commitment to the project. These advanced words are useful in professional, academic, and personal conversations. Let's also focus on vocabulary for describing problems and difficulties. At a basic level, people say problem or difficulty. At C1, you can use words like obstacle, challenge, and complication. Repeat after me. They faced many obstacles on the journey. Learning English is a challenge, but it's rewarding. The plan had a serious complication. Excellent. Now imagine hiking in the mountains. Instead of saying, "We had some problems on the trip," you could say, "We faced many obstacles on the journey." Repeat after me. We faced many obstacles on the journey. Or picture studying English daily. Instead of saying, "It's difficult," you could say, "It's a challenge, but it's rewarding." Practice that. It's a challenge, but it's rewarding. And if your plan gets delayed because of an issue, you might say, "There was a complication in the plan." Say it now. There was a complication in the plan. Using these words makes your speech sound advanced and professional. Another important area of advanced vocabulary is for describing growth and progress. Beginners use grow or improve. But at C1, you can use flourish, advance, or progress. Let's practice them together. The company continues to flourish. Repeat after me. The company continues to flourish. He advanced quickly in his career. Say it now. He advanced quickly in his career. Her English is progressing very well. Repeat after me. Her English is progressing very well. Now imagine a garden full of flowers in spring. Instead of saying, "The plants grew," you might say, "The plants flourished in the sunshine." Repeat it with me. The plants flourished in the sunshine. Or imagine someone getting promotions at work. You could say, "He advanced quickly in his career." Say it now. He advanced quickly in his career. And when you notice your own English skills getting better, you can say, "My English is progressing every day." Practice it. My English is progressing every day. These words will make your speech sound natural and advanced. Let's also explore vocabulary for describing arguments and disagreements. At the basic level, people say fight or disagree. But at C1, you can say quarrel, clash, or conflict. Let's practice these in sentences. Repeat after me. The neighbors had a quarrel over the noise. The two politicians clashed during the debate. There was a conflict between the two teams. Excellent. Now imagine two siblings arguing loudly at home. Instead of "they had a fight," you can say "they had a quarrel." Repeat after me. They had a quarrel. Or picture a debate on television where politicians strongly oppose each other. You could say, "They clashed during the debate." Say it with me. They clashed during the debate. And in the workplace, if two teams don't agree on a plan, you might say, "There was a conflict between the teams." Repeat it now. There was a conflict between the teams. Using these advanced words makes your English sound polished and professional. Now let's practice advanced vocabulary for describing personalities. At a basic level, learners say kind, rude, or funny. But at C1, you can be more precise with words like generous, arrogant, or witty. Let's use them in sentences. Repeat after me. She is generous with her time and money. He sounded arrogant when he refused to listen. The comedian was witty and made everyone laugh. Excellent. Imagine your friend always helps others. Instead of saying, "She is kind," you can say, "She is generous with her time." Repeat it with me. She is generous with her time. Or picture a person who thinks too highly of themselves. Instead of he is rude, you could say he is arrogant. Practice it. He is arrogant. And if you hear clever jokes that make people laugh, you could say, the speaker was witty. Say it now. The speaker was witty. These words give you precision when describing personality traits. Now let's move to advanced words for describing progress in conversations. Instead of saying continue, you could say persist or endure. Instead of stop, you could use cease. Let's practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. She persisted in her studies despite difficulties. The tradition has endured for centuries. The noise suddenly ceased. Very good. Now imagine a student who studies every night even though it is difficult. You could say, she persisted in her studies despite difficulties. Repeat it now. She persisted in her studies despite difficulties. Or imagine a cultural tradition passed down for hundreds of years. You could say, the tradition has endured for centuries. Practice it. The tradition has endured for centuries. Finally, when a sound or activity suddenly stops, you might say, the noise suddenly ceased. Say it with me. The noise suddenly ceased. These words are common in formal English and show strong C1 vocabulary. Let's also look at vocabulary for describing feelings of fear or nervousness. At the basic level, we say afraid or scared. But at C1, you could use anxious, apprehensive, or terrified. Practice them with me. Repeat after me. She felt anxious before the interview. He was apprehensive about moving to a new country. The child was terrified of the dark. Excellent. Imagine you are waiting for test results. Instead of saying, I was scared, you might say, I was anxious about the results. Repeat it with me. I was anxious about the results. Or imagine you are unsure about a big decision, like changing jobs. You could say, I felt apprehensive about the move. Say it with me. I felt apprehensive about the move. Finally, picture a young child in a dark room. You could say, he was terrified of the dark. Repeat it now. He was terrified of the dark. Using these words allows you to describe emotions with accuracy and depth. Another group of advanced vocabulary is for describing money and spending. Beginners say cheap or expensive. But at C1, you can use affordable, costly, or extravagant. Let's try them in sentences. The house is affordable for young families. Repeat with me. The house is affordable for young families. The mistake was costly for the company. Say it now. The mistake was costly for the company. The wedding was an extravagant celebration. Repeat after me. The wedding was an extravagant celebration. Now imagine buying a phone that is not too expensive and easy to pay for. Instead of saying, it's cheap, you could say, it's affordable. Repeat it with me. It's affordable. Or imagine a small error that caused big losses. Instead of, the mistake was expensive, you could say, the mistake was costly. Practice that. The mistake was costly. And if someone spends far too much on luxury, you might say, the party was extravagant. Say it with me. The party was extravagant. This kind of vocabulary is very helpful in business and daily life. Let's now practice vocabulary for describing travel and movement. At the basic level, you say trip or holiday. But at C1, you could use journey, voyage, or expedition. Practice these sentences. Repeat after me. The journey was long but enjoyable. The explorers went on a dangerous voyage across the ocean. The scientists prepared for an expedition to Antarctica. Great. Now picture going on a train ride through beautiful countryside. Instead of, the trip was long, you could say, the journey was long but enjoyable. Repeat it with me. The journey was long but enjoyable. Or imagine sailors crossing the Atlantic. You might say, the voyage was dangerous but successful. Practice it now. The voyage was dangerous but successful. And if a group of scientists travels to study nature, you could say, the expedition to Antarctica was successful. Say it with me. The expedition to Antarctica was successful. These words make your descriptions richer and more advanced. Now let's focus on vocabulary for describing success and failure in more advanced ways. At the basic level, learners say win or lose. But at C1, you can say triumph, victory, or defeat. Practice these sentences with me. Repeat after me. The team celebrated their triumph. The company enjoyed a great victory in the market. The army suffered a defeat in battle. Excellent. Now imagine your football team wins the championship. Instead of saying, we won, you can proudly say, it was a triumph for the team. Repeat it with me. It was a triumph for the team. Or picture a company doing better than its competitors. You might say, the company achieved a great victory in sales. Say it now. The company achieved a great victory in sales. And if a side loses, you can say, they suffered a defeat. Repeat after me. They suffered a defeat. These advanced words sound stronger and more formal, useful in speeches or academic writing. Another group of vocabulary is about describing effort and determination. At the basic level, you say try hard. At the C1 level, you can use strive, endeavor, or pursue. Let's practice them. Repeat after me. We must strive for excellence. She endeavored to finish the project on time. He pursued his dream of becoming a doctor. Very good. Now imagine yourself working to improve your English every day. Instead of saying, I try hard to improve, you could say, I strive to improve my English. Repeat after me. I strive to improve my English. Or picture someone making a serious effort to complete something. She endeavored to meet the deadline. Say it with me. She endeavored to meet the deadline. And if you are following your passion, you could say, he pursued his dream of becoming a doctor. Practice it now. He pursued his dream of becoming a doctor. These words give your English a formal, advanced flavor. Let's also explore advanced vocabulary for describing relationships. At a basic level, learners say friend or enemy, but at C1, you could use companion, ally, or opponent. Repeat after me. He was my loyal companion. They became strong allies during the war. Her opponent was difficult to beat. Excellent. Now imagine walking through life with someone who supports you. You could say, he has been my companion for many years. Repeat it with me. He has been my companion for many years. Or picture two countries working together. They became allies. Say it with me. They became allies. And in a sports match, you could say, her opponent was very skilled. Repeat after me. Her opponent was very skilled. These words allow you to describe human connections with variety and sophistication. Another area is vocabulary for describing emotions of joy and sadness. Beginners say very happy or very sad, but at C1 you can use elated, ecstatic, or sorrowful. Practice these. Repeat after me. I felt elated after receiving the news. She was ecstatic when she got the job. He looked sorrowful at the funeral. Very good. Now imagine passing a difficult exam. Instead of, I was very happy, you might say, I was elated after passing. Repeat it with me. I was elated after passing. Or picture winning the lottery. She was ecstatic when she saw the numbers. Say it with me. She was ecstatic when she saw the numbers. And if someone experiences a loss, you could say, he looked sorrowful at the funeral. Practice that now. He looked sorrowful at the funeral. These words bring richness and emotion to your English. Let's move on to vocabulary for describing changes in life. At a basic level, we say big change. At the C1 level, you could use transition, shift, or transformation. Let's try them. Repeat after me. Moving abroad was a big transition for her. There has been a shift in public opinion. The city underwent a transformation in recent years. Excellent. Now imagine you move to a new country. Instead of saying, it was a big change, you can say, it was a transition. Repeat it now. It was a transition. Or if people's opinions change, you can say, there has been a shift in opinion. Say it with me. There has been a shift in opinion. And if a place develops from old to modern, you can say, the city underwent a transformation. Repeat it. The city underwent a transformation. These words are very common in academic and professional English. Let's now explore vocabulary for describing disagreements in a more advanced way. At the basic level, learners say argument or fight, but at C1, you could use dispute, controversy, or debate. Practice them in sentences with me. Repeat after me. The workers had a dispute with the management. The law caused a lot of controversy in the country. They engaged in a long debate about climate change. Excellent. Now imagine a workplace where the employees and managers don't agree. Instead of saying, they had an argument, you can say, they had a dispute. Repeat after me. They had a dispute. Or picture people discussing a new rule in society. Instead of saying, it caused problems, you might say, it caused controversy. Say it with me. It caused controversy. And if people are exchanging different ideas, you could say, they had a debate. Repeat after me. They had a debate. These words are often used in news, business, and academic contexts, which makes them very useful at C1 level. Another group of advanced vocabulary is used when describing progress and development. At a basic level, people say get better or grow, but at C1 you might use enhance, expand, or elevate. Let's practice them together. Repeat after me. The course helped enhance my English skills. The company expanded its operations to Asia. The teacher's advice elevated my confidence. Very good. Now imagine you are improving your English step by step. Instead of saying, my English got better, you can say, the lessons enhanced my English skills. Repeat after me. The lessons enhanced my English skills. Or picture a business opening new branches. Instead of the company grew, you might say, the company expanded its operations. Practice it. The company expanded its operations. And if someone's words inspire you, you can say, her encouragement elevated my confidence. Say it with me. Her encouragement elevated my confidence. These advanced words give you elegance and precision in expression. Let's move to vocabulary for describing anger in more subtle ways. At the basic level, we say angry, but at C1, you could use irritated, resentful, or infuriated. Repeat them with me. I was irritated by the constant noise. He felt resentful after being ignored. She was infuriated by the unfair treatment. Excellent. Now imagine being disturbed by loud music from your neighbor. Instead of saying, I was angry, you might say, I was irritated by the noise. Repeat it. I was irritated by the noise. Or imagine someone being treated unfairly. You could say, he felt resentful. Practice it now. He felt resentful. And if someone makes you extremely angry, you might say, she was infuriated by the situation. Say it with me. She was infuriated by the situation. Using these words allows you to show levels of intensity in your emotions, which is a very advanced skill. Another useful group is vocabulary for describing calmness and peace. At the basic level, people say relaxed, but at C1, you can say tranquil, serene, or peaceful. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. The garden was tranquil in the morning light. Her face looked serene after meditation. The countryside is very peaceful at night. Very good. Now imagine walking by a lake early in the morning with no noise. Instead of saying, it was very calm, you can say, the lake was tranquil. Repeat after me. The lake was tranquil. Or picture someone smiling gently, free of stress. You could say, she looked serene after yoga. Say it now. She looked serene after yoga. And if you describe the quiet life in a village, you might say, it's peaceful in the countryside at night. Practice it. It's peaceful in the countryside at night. These words not only expand your vocabulary, but also help you create atmosphere in your descriptions. Let's also look at vocabulary for describing results and outcomes. Beginners say result or effect, but at C1, you might use consequence, impact, or aftermath. Repeat after me. Every action has a consequence. The speech had a strong impact on the audience. The aftermath of the storm was terrible. Excellent. Now imagine you're warning a child not to do something dangerous. Instead of saying, it will have a result, you can say, it will have a consequence. Repeat it with me. It will have a consequence. Or picture a motivational speaker. Instead of, the talk had a result, you can say, the talk had a strong impact. Say it now. The talk had a strong impact. And if you're describing what happens after a disaster, you could say, the aftermath of the storm was shocking. Repeat after me. The aftermath of the storm was shocking. These words make your speech more academic and descriptive, perfect for C1 communication. Now let's strengthen your vocabulary for describing responsibility and duty. At the basic level, learners often say job or task, but at C1, you can say obligation, duty, or responsibility. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. It is our obligation to help those in need. Parents have a duty to care for their children. He took full responsibility for the mistake. Excellent. Now imagine a situation where your friend asks why you help a neighbor. Instead of saying, "It's my job," you could say, "It's my obligation to help." Repeat it now. It's my obligation to help. Or picture parents raising children. You could say, "Parents have a duty to provide love and support." Practice that. Parents have a duty to provide love and support. Finally, imagine a manager admitting a mistake. Instead of saying, "It was my fault," you might say, "I take full responsibility." Say it with me. I take full responsibility. These advanced words make your English sound formal and confident. Another powerful group of vocabulary is for describing achievements and goals. Beginners say goal or dream, but at C1 you can say objective, ambition, or milestone. Repeat after me. Her objective is to become a lawyer. His ambition drives him to work hard. Graduating from university was a major milestone. Excellent. Now imagine talking about your studies. Instead of saying, "My goal is to learn English," you could say, "My objective is to reach C1 level in English." Repeat it with me. My objective is to reach C1 level in English. Or picture someone with big dreams. You might say, "His ambition is to travel the world." Say it now. His ambition is to travel the world. And if you're describing an important achievement, you might say, "Graduating was a milestone in my life." Rep. Eat after me. Graduating was a milestone in my life. These words add depth to conversations about progress. Let's also explore vocabulary for describing mistakes. At a basic level, people say mistake or error, but at C1 you could use blunder, oversight, or misjudgment. Practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. The manager made a serious blunder. It was an oversight that we forgot the meeting. His misjudgment led to a poor decision. Excellent. Now imagine someone saying something wrong in public. Instead of, "He made a mistake," you could say, "He made a blunder." Repeat it now. He made a blunder. Or picture forgetting to reply to an important email. You might say, "It was an oversight." Say it with me. It was an oversight. And if a friend makes a poor choice about a person's character, you could say, "It was a misjudgment." Repeat after me. It was a misjudgment. Using these words gives your English greater variety and strength. Another set of advanced words describes intensity and degree. At the basic level, we say very big or very small, but at C1, you could use immense, tiny, or minuscule. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. The mountain was immense. The insect was tiny. The difference between the two results was minuscule. Excellent. Now imagine hiking in nature and seeing a tall mountain. Instead of saying, "It was very big," you can say, "The mountain was immense." Repeat it with me. The mountain was immense. Or picture a child holding a very small toy. You might say, "The toy was tiny in his hand." Say it now. The toy was tiny in his hand. Finally, think about comparing two exam scores that are almost the same. You could say, "The difference was minuscule." Repeat after me. The difference was minuscule. These words show control and precision in your speech. Let's now practice vocabulary for describing truth and honesty. At the basic level, we say true or honest, but at C1, you can use genuine, authentic, or sincere. Repeat them in sentences. She gave me a genuine smile. The painting is authentic and valuable. He offered a sincere apology. Excellent. Now imagine meeting someone with a warm personality. Instead of saying, "She is nice," you could say, "She gave me a genuine smile." Repeat it now. She gave me a genuine smile. Or picture holding a piece of art in a museum. You could say, "The painting is authentic." Practice it. The painting is authentic. And if a friend truly apologizes, you might say, "He offered a sincere apology." Repeat after me. He offered a sincere apology. These advanced words help you speak with refinement and accuracy. Now let's strengthen your vocabulary for describing changes in mood and behavior. At the basic level, learners say happy, sad, or angry. But at C1, you can use words like moody, irritable, or temperamental. Let's practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. He was moody after the argument. She became irritable during the long meeting. The artist was temperamental but very talented. Excellent. Now imagine your friend who changes emotions quickly. Instead of saying, "He is sometimes sad, sometimes angry," you can say, "He is moody." Repeat it with me. He is moody. Or picture someone who becomes easily annoyed when things don't go their way. You could say, "She was irritable after the long meeting." Say it now. She was irritable after the long meeting. Finally, think of a creative person who is brilliant but unpredictable. You might say, "He is temperamental." Repeat after me. He is temperamental. These words help you describe people in a more natural, advanced way. Another group of advanced words describes uncertainty and doubt. At the basic MC level, people say maybe or not sure. But at C1, you could use uncertain, doubtful, or ambiguous. Practice them with me. Repeat after me. I'm uncertain about the decision. It's doubtful that they will arrive on time. The meaning of the text was ambiguous. Excellent. Now imagine you are deciding whether to accept a new job. Instead of saying, "I'm not sure," you can say, "I'm uncertain about this decision." Repeat it now. I'm uncertain about this decision. Or if someone promises to arrive but traffic is bad, you can say, "It's doubtful they will arrive on time." Say it with me. It's doubtful they will arrive on time. And when reading a confusing text, you might say, "The meaning was ambiguous." Practice it. The meaning was ambiguous. These advanced words help you express shades of uncertainty in sophisticated ways. Let's now practice vocabulary for describing admiration and praise. At the basic level, we say good or great. But at C1, you might say commendable, remarkable, or outstanding. Let's try them in sentences. Repeat after me. Her efforts were commendable. The achievement was remarkable. He gave an outstanding performance. Excellent. Now imagine a student who works very hard to help others. Instead of saying, "She is good," you could say, "Her efforts are commendable." Repeat it now. Her efforts are commendable. Or picture an achievement that surprises you. you could say, "The achievement was remarkable." Say it with me. The achievement was remarkable. And if someone delivers something truly excellent, you might say, "The performance was outstanding." Repeat after me. The performance was outstanding. These words allow you to give praise with more variety and strength. Another important set of advanced vocabulary is for describing danger and risk. At a basic level, learners say dangerous or risky. But at C1, you can use hazardous, perilous, or threatening. Repeat them with me. The chemicals are hazardous to health. They went on a perilous journey across the desert. Dark clouds looked threatening before the storm. Excellent. Now imagine working in a science lab with strong chemicals. Instead of saying, "The chemicals are dangerous," you could say, "The chemicals are hazardous." Repeat it now. The chemicals are hazardous. Or picture explorers crossing the desert with many dangers. You might say, "It was a perilous journey." Say it with me. It was a perilous journey. And if the sky is dark before heavy rain, you could say, "The clouds looked threatening." Repeat after me. The clouds looked threatening. These advanced words are especially useful in academic writing, news, or storytelling. Finally, let's practice vocabulary for describing hope and expectation. At the basic level, we say hope or expect. But at C1, you can use anticipate, aspire, or yearn. Repeat after me. We anticipate a positive outcome. She aspires to become a doctor. He yearned for freedom. Excellent. Now imagine waiting for exam results. Instead of saying, "I expect good results," you could say, "I anticipate good results." Repeat it with me. I anticipate good results. Or picture a student dreaming of a career. She aspires to become a doctor. Say it now. She aspires to become a doctor. And if someone deeply desires something, you could say, "He yearned for freedom." Repeat after me. He yearned for freedom. These words carry emotion and elegance, making your English sound powerful and advanced. Now let's practice advanced vocabulary for describing decisions and judgments. At the basic level, people often say good decision or bad decision. But at C1, you can use wise, prudent, or reckless. Let's try them in sentences. Repeat after me. It was a wise choice to save money early. She made a prudent investment. He took a reckless risk. Excellent. Now imagine someone choosing to study every day. Instead of saying, "That was a good decision," you could say, "That was a wise choice." Repeat after me. That was a wise choice. Or picture someone carefully investing money. You might say, "She made a prudent investment." Say it with me. She made a prudent investment. Finally, imagine someone driving too fast. Instead of, "That was a bad decision," you can say, "He took a reckless risk." Repeat after me. He took a reckless risk. These words make your language more advanced and precise when describing decisions. Another group of useful advanced words is for describing appearances. At the basic level, learners say beautiful or ugly. But at C1, you might use elegant, graceful, or unattractive. Let's practice them together. Repeat after me. She looked elegant in her dress. The dancer was graceful on stage. The building was unattractive compared to the others. Excellent. Now imagine a person dressed for a wedding. Instead of saying, "She looked beautiful," You might say, she looked elegant in her dress. Repeat it with me. She looked elegant in her dress. Or picture a ballerina performing. You could say, the dancer was graceful. Say it now. The dancer was graceful. And if you see an old building that doesn't look nice, you could say, the building was unattractive. Repeat after me. The building was unattractive. These words help you express opinions more accurately and naturally. Let's also look at vocabulary for describing honesty and dishonesty. At the basic level, we say honest or dishonest. But at C1, you could use trustworthy, deceitful, or fraud. Fluent. Practice these with me. Repeat after me. She is a trustworthy friend. He was deceitful about his actions. The company was punished for fraudulent activity. Excellent. Now imagine a friend who always keeps promises. Instead of saying, she is honest, you might say, she is trustworthy. Repeat after me. She is trustworthy. Or picture someone who lies for personal gain. You could say, he was deceitful. Say it now. He was deceitful. And in business, if a company cheats customers, you might say, the company committed fraudulent activity. Repeat it with me. The company committed fraudulent activity. These words are especially important in professional and academic contexts. Another strong area of C1 vocabulary is describing intelligence and stupidity. At the basic level, people say smart or stupid. But at C1, you could say intelligent, brilliant, foolish, or absurd. Let's practice them. Repeat after me. She is an intelligent student. The idea was brilliant and creative. It was foolish to ignore the warning. The excuse was absurd. Excellent. Now imagine a student answering questions quickly. Instead of, she is smart, you could say, she is intelligent. Repeat it with me. She is intelligent. Or picture someone giving a creative solution. You might say, his idea was brilliant. Say it now. His idea was brilliant. And if someone ignores clear danger, you could say, it was foolish to ignore the warning. Repeat after me. It was foolish to ignore the warning. Finally, if someone gives an excuse that makes no sense, you might say, that excuse was absurd. Practice it. That excuse was absurd. Using these words allows you to express both admiration and criticism more effectively. Let's also practice advanced words for describing time and frequency. At the basic level, we use always or sometimes. But at C1, you could use constantly, occasionally, or rarely. Repeat after me. She constantly checks her phone. We occasionally go hiking. He rarely eats fast food. Excellent. Now imagine a person on who uses their phone all the time. Instead of she always checks her phone, you could say she constantly checks her phone. Repeat it with me. She constantly checks her phone. Or picture going hiking once in a while. Instead of we sometimes go hiking, you can say we occasionally go hiking. Say it now. We occasionally go hiking. And if someone almost never eats junk food, you might say he rarely eats fast food. Repeat after me. He rarely eats fast food. These small but powerful words make your English sound more natural and precise. Now let's focus on vocabulary for describing movement and action in more advanced ways. At the basic level, people say walk or run. But at C1, you could use stride, march, or crawl. Let's practice them together. Repeat after me. He strode confidently into the room. The soldiers marched across the field. The baby crawled on the floor. Excellent. Now imagine a person entering a meeting full of confidence. Instead of saying he walked in, you could say he strode confidently into the room. Repeat it now. He strode confidently into the room. Or picture soldiers moving in rhythm. Instead of they walked, you can say the soldiers marched. Say it with me. The soldiers marched. Finally, if you describe a baby moving slowly on hands and knees, you can say, the baby crawled across the floor. Repeat after me. The baby crawled across the floor. These words give more detail and create a picture in the listener's mind. Another powerful group of advanced words is for describing strength and weakness. At the basic level, we say strong or weak, but at C1 you could use robust, sturdy, or fragile. Repeat after me. The table is very sturdy and reliable. She has a robust immune system. The glass was fragile and broke easily. Excellent. Now imagine you buy good furniture. Instead of saying, the table is strong, you could say, the table is sturdy. Repeat it now. The table is sturdy. Or picture a healthy person who rarely gets sick. Instead of, she is strong, you can say, she has a robust immune system. Say it with me. She has a robust immune system. And when holding something delicate, you might say, the glass was fragile. Repeat after me. The glass was fragile. These words are often used in both daily and academic English. Let's now practice vocabulary for describing communication styles. At the basic level, people say talk or speak. But at C1, you might say articulate, express, or convey. Let's try them in sentences. Repeat after me. She articulated her opinion clearly. He expressed his feelings with honesty. The teacher conveyed the message effectively. Excellent. Now imagine a student giving a presentation. Instead of saying, she spoke clearly, you can say, she articulated her opinion clearly. Repeat it now. She articulated her opinion clearly. Or picture someone sharing their emotions. You might say, he expressed his feelings openly. Say it with me. He expressed his feelings openly. And if a teacher explains an idea very well, you could say, the teacher conveyed the message effectively. Ew. Repeat after me. The teacher conveyed the message effectively. These words are very useful in professional and academic contexts. Another group of advanced words describes improvement and decline. At the basic level, people say get better or get worse. But at C1, you might use recover, deteriorate, or decline. Let's practice them. Repeat after me. She recovered quickly after the illness. The building deteriorated over time. Sales declined last year. Excellent. Now imagine someone getting healthy again. Instead of, she got better, you can say, she recovered quickly. Repeat it now. She recovered quickly. Or picture an old building slowly breaking down. Instead of, it got worse, you could say, the building deteriorated. Say it with me. The building deteriorated. And when talking about numbers going down, you might say, sales declined last year. Repeat after me. Sales declined last year. These words give your English a more professional and precise tone. Let's also explore vocabulary for describing emotions of fear and courage. At the basic level, we say brave or afraid. But at C1, you can use courageous, fearless, or cowardly. Practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. She was courageous in facing difficulties. He was fearless in battle. They called him cowardly for avoiding the challenge. Excellent. Now imagine someone who stands up for their beliefs. Instead of saying, she is brave, you could say, she is courageous. Repeat it now. She is courageous. Or picture someone taking a big risk without fear. You might say, he was fearless. Say it with me. He was fearless. And if someone avoids responsibility because of fear, you could say, he was cowardly. Repeat after me. He was cowardly. These advanced words make your speech more expressive and impactful. Now let's practice advanced vocabulary for describing success and progress in life. At the basic level, people often say improve or do well. But at C1, you can use prosper, excel, or thrive. Let's practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. The small business began to prosper after many challenges. She excelled in her exams this year. Children thrive when they feel supported and loved. Excellent. Now imagine a shop that starts earning more after years of struggle. Instead of the business did well, you could say, the business began to prosper. Repeat it now. The business began to prosper. Or picture a student who scores very high in exams. Instead of, she did very well, you can say, she excelled in her exams. Say it with me. She excelled in her exams. Finally, when describing children who grow in a positive environment, you could say, children thrive in supportive families. Repeat after me. Children thrive in supportive families. These words help you sound advanced and professional when talking about growth and success. Another strong area is vocabulary for describing conflict resolution. At the basic level, we say fix or solve. But at C1, you can use resolve, settle, or mediate. Repeat them with me. We need to resolve the issue quickly. The two sides settled their differences. She helped mediate between the groups. Excellent. Now imagine two co-workers arguing. Instead of saying, they fixed the problem, you could say, they resolved their conflict. Repeat it now. They resolved their conflict. Or picture a legal case finally ending. You could say, the case was settled in court. Say it with me. The case was settled in court. And if a teacher helps two students stop fighting, you might say, the teacher mediated between them. Repeat after me. The teacher mediated between them. These words are especially useful in professional and academic contexts. Let's now focus on advanced words for describing effort and persistence. At the basic level, learners say try hard or keep going. But at C1, you can use endure, persist, or persevere. Practice them now. Repeat after me. She endured the pain with courage. He persisted despite the obstacles. They persevered until they reached success. Excellent. Now, imagine running. A long marathon. Instead of she kept going, you could say, She endured the pain with courage. Repeat it now. She endured the pain with courage. Or picture a student continuing to study even after failing once. You could say, he persisted despite the obstacles. Say it with me. He persisted despite the obstacles. And if someone works for years to reach their dreams, you might say, they persevered until they succeeded. Repeat after me. They persevered until they succeeded. These words carry a strong emotional impact and show advanced fluency. Another group of advanced vocabulary describes opportunity and possibility. At the basic level, people say chance or opportunity, but at C1, you can use prospect, occasion, or potential. Let's practice them in sentences. Repeat after me. The job offered exciting prospects for the future. It was a rare occasion to meet the author. She has the potential to become a great leader. Excellent. Now, imagine applying for a new position. Instead of saying, it's a good opportunity, you could say, it's an exciting prospect. Repeat it now. It's an exciting prospect. Or picture meeting a famous writer once in your life. You could say, it was a rare occasion to meet her. Say it with me. It was a rare occasion to meet her. Finally, when describing a talented student, you might say, she has great potential. Repeat after me. She has great potential. These advanced words are powerful for talking about the future and possibilities. And now, my friends, we have come to the end of our C1 Advanced Vocabulary Masterclass. Over the course of this lesson, you have practiced hundreds of words and phrases that will help you express yourself with clarity, precision, and confidence. We moved from emotions and daily life to professional and academic contexts. You repeated the words with me, imagined daily life scenarios, and practiced making sentences that you can start using immediately in your own conversations. Remember this, vocabulary grows when you use it, not just when you hear it. So take a few of the words you learned today and try them out in your conversations, in your writing, or even when talking to yourself in English. Little by little, these advanced words will stop feeling like new vocabulary and will become a natural part of the way you think and speak. Thank you so much for joining me in this long and powerful session. I'm Natasha, and I hope you enjoyed this journey to C1 level vocabulary. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to subscribe to English in Minutes and press the bell icon so you never miss our new episodes. Leave a comment below with your favorite new word from today's class, and share this video with a friend who also wants to improve their English. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep moving closer to fluency every single day. Until next time, take care and goodbye.